Convertibles. They always seem to get a bad rep from motoring journalists, as due to the lack of roof, they end up getting described as soggy and cumbersome in the corners. However, BMW know a thing or two about chassis dynamics, so I'm willing to bet that this 440i Cabriolet is more than just a weekend cruiser. Let's have a look, shall we? My name's Tom, and you're watching Paragon Cars. Let's go. Before we start, please like, subscribe and hit the bell if you'd like us to keep bringing you this content. Now for me at least, a proper BMW needs a straight 6, and thankfully this 440i has one of the best ones ever. This is the B58, and in this 440i it makes 326 brake horsepower and 450 Newton meters of torque. 0 to 60 is dealt with in 4.9 seconds, but what about the 30 to 70 sprint? Let's find out. Okay, so we managed 4.71 seconds, and yes, that's fast, but take a closer look, and you'll see the X4 M40i is actually a fair bit quicker. And yes, I know the X4 has a bit more power, but nearly half a second? Really? Well, you see, in order to get that sporty driving experience, BMW have added over 200 kilos to the 440i's frame when compared to the coupe, and that makes it only 55 kilos lighter than the X4. That added weight better be worth it. First, let's have a look at the inside though, as there's some cool features in this Cabriolet. In this coral red interior, you'll notice that these seats are actually different over the coupes. They have a fixed headrest and a slightly different shape overall. Being a Cabriolet, you want to stay warm with the roof down, so this BMW has been spec'd with the air collar system that blows hot air on your neck, as well as heated seats and a heated wheel. No getting cold in this one then. The dash still looks classy, but it is starting to get dated. That does mean no touchscreens though, and for me at least, that is a very good thing indeed. The rear offers best-in-class headroom/legroom and is genuinely comfortable for adults under 6 feet even with the roof up. Sadly, there's no rear armrest. You'll see why in a minute, but they did actually manage to get some proper cup holders back here. Now usually, if you fold the seats down, you'll get to the boot. However, BMW turned this into a pretty neat place to store your wind deflector. This does mean, however, you don't get any through loading though, but that's actually not too much of an issue, as with the roof up, you get a hatchback size boot of 370 litres. That's big enough for 2 big suitcases and 1 small one. But this is a convertible, so what happens when you want to take your top off? Well, you're left with only 220 litres, which isn't exactly ideal, but you do get a divider that allows you to really make the most of that room. It also brings a bit of peace in mind, as you know your things aren't going to get squished. Okay, let's take this thing for a drive. Now, I've always been interested in this car because it's the only one of the German manufacturers that went for a hard-top convertible over a soft-top for their sort of entry-level coupe. And you know what? It does make quite a big difference to just how it feels inside. You feel much more cocooned in the car already. Everything just feels a little bit more solid. And going over these bumps here, I know we've got the roof up now, so even in soft-top convertibles you don't get that sort of scatteriness that is typical of convertibles, but this really does feel just like a 4 Series coupe. You can already tell that it's pretty much got exactly the same amount of sound deadening. Steering around town is nice and light, just sitting in comfort mode at the minute. And it has that typical BMW feel. It wants to turn into a corner, you can feel the camber on the wheels. Just letting you know there's something sporty underneath the chassis in this car. And the suspension, it's not soft I would say, but it's compliant. It rounds off the bumps nicely. It never jars the car, even if you're going over bigger speed bumps. And in terms of parking, you get parking sensors as standard in this car. This has got them on the front as well as the rear. And it would be nice to have a reverse camera actually, because the view out the back isn't great. I mean, it's about the same as the coupe, and that isn't great either, to be honest. Turning circle is fine though, so once you do find your line, getting into a space in one go is pretty easy still. Plus the car itself isn't that big anyway. Of course, one advantage is if you have the roof down, it makes it a lot easier to park. Of course, one of the other first things you notice is just how buttery smooth that B58 engine is. Every single car it's used in, it just has that really lovely characteristic. You got torque from under 1500 RPM, and it just pulls you all the way through the rev range. Pretty much all the way till the red line as well. And I know I use the word electric a lot, but this has got to be one of the most electric feeling engines that there is. And when you're sitting at traffic lights just idling, you can barely hear it. Right, let's reset the trip computer to see what MPG we got on the motorway. It'd be interesting to see if this does better or worse compared to the 440i Grand Coupe we reviewed a while ago. Of course, we've got to do the obligatory handling test, so we'll put the car into Sports Plus. This gives some weight to the steering, increased throttle response, put the gearbox into Sport. This will drop a gear. I can change gears myself if I want to. It'll also relax the traction control. And coming off of roundabouts, put your foot down. That's what BMWs are about, people. Little bit of fun. And that ZF 8-speed gearbox does a wicked job of just clapping through those gears. Brake pedal feel is good as well. These are the M Sport brakes. You can actually get these on lower trim BMWs, part of the M Sport package. But they're definitely needed for this 440i. You pick up speed surprisingly fast in this car. For now though, we're going to talk about some more features on this car. One other thing you might have noticed is that my shoes are pretty squeaky on the throttle and the brake pedal. For some reason, it's only BMWs that do that. Nor Audi or Mercedes seem to do that with my shoes, but hey ho, there you go. Back on the motorway then, does this feel any different to a 440i Coupe? And I'm happy to say, no it doesn't. It feels like it has exactly the same amount of sound deadening, same amount of wind noise, road noise is the same, yeah, the same. We're running on some pretty pants tyres at the minute, so you might be able to hear a bit of tyre noise, but that's the tyre, not the car. But other than that, it feels exactly like the Coupe to travel in. The one thing you do notice, and this is inherent with convertibles, is just a little bit more weight when you're hitting the bumps. Then visibility, basically the same as the Coupe, there's no B-pillar, so you can see in your blind spot very easily. Then there's the usual curved bit of glass, so it shows you your blind spot anyway. Basically never have to turn your head around. That's what a barge is about really, isn't it? It's about just relaxing on the motorway, not having to think or do much. Then in terms of interior quality, BMWs are quite different from other manufacturers. They don't try and go super flashy with their interiors, but what they do very well is quality of the interiors. Their build quality is second to none, and I know for a fact in their newer cars it's actually even better than these ones. Everything just has this really solid feel to it, and where there's not leather, there's soft touch materials, so you never find you're touching anything really hard. Then in terms of specifications, if this was my car, the first thing I'd get, because it's a convertible, is the air collar system, because it does actually work pretty well. It does actually heat your neck up quite a lot, and if it's sunny but a cold day, it does actually mean you can have the roof down, which is nice. The next thing would actually be a Harman Kardon sound system. This car doesn't have it, and it just leaves this big bit of plastic there that is kind of an eyesore for me. But the main thing is the audio quality. It's just nowhere near as good as the Harman Kardon sound system. It's passable, it's still fine to listen to music to, it's comparable to like your regular hot hatch, but the Harman Kardon system makes a huge difference to the audio quality of the car, and it is well worth having. Then the final thing would actually be a reverse camera. I know parking sensors are fine, but having a reverse camera just to reassure you when you're reversing in a car like this is really nice. Then in terms of driving on the motorway, it's still got that nice BMW feel. The steering wants to turn, but when you are going at a higher speed, it will keep dead straight. It doesn't tramline too much, and that's something you don't want out of a car like this. The M4 does move around a little bit. This is definitely a little bit softer than the M4. Much easier to cruise in this car. I guess my only gripe with a hard-top convertible is that they kind of make the car look a bit like a bubble. But for me, the pros definitely outweigh the cons. I feel like you have a little bit more security with a hard-top roof. That's our motorway stint over then, and we managed a whopping 38.2 miles per gallon. And that figure's still going up. On a long run, you'd definitely get over 40 mpg if you're just sitting at 70 miles an hour in this. And keep in mind, this is less aerodynamic than the coupe, and it weighs over 1.8 tons. This is a heavy car, guys. It's crazy what the B58 can do. But let's see if it can still be as crazy on a B road. Right, let's see what this convertible is like around some quicker roundabouts. Does feel like they've made it slightly less eager to go sideways. Weird thing is, it doesn't really feel any slower, although it is a little bit slower than a 440i coupe. But driving dynamics wise, it feels very, very similar. There's really not much in it. Get a little bit of noise through here. It does sound good, this car. Yeah, they've defo dialed in the stability control. It really cuts power. As soon as you start sliding, it's cutting it now. That's interesting. It doesn't do that in the Grand Coupe. I mean, with acceleration like that, it's still very quick. You wouldn't really want it to be any faster. Big pothole here, so I just have to be a little bit careful. One more go then. Yeah, see, it's pushing on a lot more. That's interesting. Not typical of a BMW to do that. Having said that though, it still has a really nice chassis balance to it. I guess they're just expecting some older, less experienced drivers to be behind the wheel of this thing. Let's get to some tighter stuff then. This is where BMWs are very good. 4 Series is the perfect size for a British B road, I think. That B58 just wants you to ride all its torque. Yeah, see, I had my foot absolutely flat to the ground then, still didn't want to go sideways. Interesting that. Right, let's get the roof off and see if there's any difference. The one really good thing about convertibles is that you get a lot more exhaust noise. Means you can really experience that B58 engine. See, the thing is, when the roof is up, because it's so well insulated, you don't really get much exhaust noise. But with the roof down, it's a totally different driving experience. Of course, the chassis balance is still good. The stiffness is amazing. They've done an amazing job. It feels identical to the coupe. The only thing you notice is that the suspension takes a little bit longer to come out of its travel. But other than that, the actual stiffness itself is identical. Amazing work. Very different to the convertibles of old. And that air scarf does make a massive difference. I'm still perfectly warm. For now though, we're going to put the roof back up just because I think the audio will be a little bit better. around a tighter corner then. It's easy to power out of them. And then you get stuck behind the inevitable Sunday driver. One tip if you have this car is get some silicone grease, because the one disadvantage with a hardtop convertible is there's a lot of rubber gaskets going around the roof and they don't half squeak a lot. But what a car, BMW. You've done an amazing job and you have genuinely made a convertible feel like a sports car. A proper sports car. Not a half-assed sports car, a proper sports car. Next time, maybe just dial the ESC back a bit. Other than that, a wonderful car to drive. Well, BMW, you did it. It's certainly not what I'd call soggy. The chassis is communicative and the drive is fun. And even though you can feel the extra weight, it's still easily nimble enough to be some proper fun in the corners. As always, I hope you enjoyed this review. If you did, give us a like and why not subscribe, as not only can you see more content like this, you can also see everything we have for sale. Anyway, my name's Tom, and you've been watching Paragon Cars. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.